Because when I read Ulysses, I couldn't believe chapter 13 about Gertie McDowell, a girl on a beach who is fantasizing about being sexually liberated but is still controlled by the Catholic Church. That's me. So, Molly Bloom, I also do, but I do it because people ask me to do it. But Gertie McDowell, I do because I live it. Okay. If she saw that magic lure in his eyes, there'd be no holding back for her. Love laughs at locksmiths. She would make the great sacrifice. Her every effort would be to share his thoughts. Dearer than the whole world would she be to him, and gild his days with happiness. But there was the all-important question she was dying to know. Was he a married man or a widower who'd lost his wife? Or some tragedy, like the nobleman with a foreign name from the land of sun had to have her put into a madhouse? Cruel, only she be kind? But even if, what then? Would it make a very great difference? From everything the least indelicate, her fine-bred nature instinctively recoiled. She loved that sort of person, the fallen woman. Off the accommodation walk beside the Dodger, the one with coarse men and soldiers with no respect for girls' honour, degrading the sex and being taken to the police station. No, not that. They would be just good friends, like a big brother and sister, without all the other, in spite of the conventions of society with its big S. Perhaps it was an old flame he was in mourning for, from the days beyond recall. She thought she understood. She would try to understand, because men, they were so different. But the old love was waiting with little white hands stretched out, with blue appealing eyes. Heart of mine, she would follow her dream of love, the dictates of her heart that told her he was her all in all, the only one in the world for her, and love was the master guide. Nothing else mattered. Come what might, she would be wild and untrammeled and free. Canon O'Hanlon put the Blessed Sacrament back into the tabernacle, genuflected, and the choir sang, Laudate Domine omnes gentes. And then he locked the tabernacle door because benediction was over, and Father Conroy handed him his hat to put on. And little Jackie Cavers said, Look, Sissy. And they all looked. Was it sheet lightning? No. Little Tommy saw it too. It's over the houses beside the church. Blue, green, and purple. Ooh, it's the fireworks, Sissy Caffrey said. And they all ran down the strand, helter-skelter, to see over the houses and the church. Edie, with the pushcart with Baby Boardman in it, and Sissy holding little Tommy and Jackie by the hands so they wouldn't fall running. Come on, Gertie, it's the fireworks. But Gertie was adamant. She had no intention of being at their beck and call. If they could run like Rossies, she could sit. So she said she could see from where she was the eyes that were fastened upon her set her pulses tingling. She looked at him a moment, meeting his glance, and a light broke in upon her. White-hot passion was in that face. Passion, silent as a grave, and it had made her his. At last, they were left alone without the others to cry and pass remarks, and she knew he could be trusted to the death, steadfast, a sterling man, a man of inflexible honour to his fingertips. But his hands and face were working, and a tremor went over her. She leaned back far to look up where the fireworks were, and she caught her knee in her hand so as not to fall back, looking up, and there was no one to see, only him and her, when she revealed all her graceful, beautifully shaped legs like that, supplely soft and delicately rounded. And she seemed to hear the panting of his heart, his hoarse breathing, because she knew about the passion of men like that, hot-blooded, because Bertha Supple had told her once in dead secret and made her swear she'd never about the gentleman lodger that was staying with them out of the congested district boars that had pictures cut out of papers of skirt dancers and high kickers, and she said he used to do something not very nice, you can imagine sometimes, in the bed. But this was altogether different from a thing like that because there was all the difference. Yes, she could feel him draw her face to his, and the first quick hot touch of his hands and lips. Besides, there was absolution. Well, so long as you didn't do the other before being married. And there ought to be women priests who'd understand without your telling out. And Sissy Caffrey too sometimes had a dreamy look in her eyes, and so too much had Winnie Rippington. So mad about those actors' photographs. And besides, it was on account of our monkeys coming on the way they did. And little Jackie Caffrey shouted, "Look, Sissy, there's another!" And she leaned back, and the garters were blue to match on account of the transparent, and they all saw, and they all shouted, "Look, look!" There it was, and she leaned back ever so far to see the fireworks. Something queer was flying through the air, a soft thing, to and fro, dark, and then she saw a long Roman candle going up over the trees, up, and in an intense hush. They were all breathless with excitement as they went higher and higher, and she had to lean back more and more to look up after it, high, almost out of sight, and her face was suffused with a divine and entrancing flush from straining so far back that he could see her other things, namely knickers, the fabric that caresses the skin on account of being white, and she let him, and she saw that he saw, and then it went so high it went out of sight a moment, and she was trembling in every limb from being then so far back that he'd a full view high up above her knee, where no one ever, not even on the swing or waiting. And she wasn't ashamed. And he wasn't either, to look in that immodest way like that, because he couldn't resist this sight of the wondrous revealment, half offered, like the scarf dancers, behaving so immodest before gentlemen looking. Oh, he kept on looking. She would fain have cried to him chokingly, held out her snowy slender arms to him, to come, to feel his lips laid on her white brow. The cry of a young girl's love, a little anguish cry, wrung from her, the cry that has rung through the ages. And then a rocket sprang, and bang, and blind, and bang, and the Roman candle burst, and it was like a sigh of and everyone cried, in raptures, as it gushed out, a stream of regal hairdress, and the shed, and they were all greeny, dewy stars falling from the golden, oh so lovely, oh so sweet. So.
I think we should say thanks very much, Mary Darcy from Paris.